The problem with social media is you get feedback you didn't invite. And then it comes in at such scale that even the most rational professional person who's like, I need to not look at this or pay attention to this, it still seeps into your head on
Yeah,
some level.
it does. And on this, it was interesting. When I listened to the full 30 minutes, I found myself actually more sympathetic to Pablo and what he was saying than in the clips that have shot around the internet. I think most people are saying that Nick completely won he won these rounds. And
He did
even
win
though,
these rounds, to be clear.
what
I
was
think he
that?
I think he did win the rounds.
Yeah, definitely. He won the rounds. And what's interesting about it is that Nick, I think, had been getting he invites, or he's a magnet for far more scorn and anger than Pablo, where it's just been effusive praise, 90% effusive praise. But it seems like Pablo doesn't perceive it that way. And I almost feel as though Pablo got laid low here because he wants more than he's getting. And that's weird to people because, from our perspective, you're so successful, you're doing so well. People might have this or that issue with this or that podcast. But he's saying to everybody, people think that investigative journalism is easy. It's not easy. He was tweeting that. He was saying he's infuriated by that idea. He's infuriated by Nick Wright thinking he
Isn't
could
that
do it.
just isn't that just a response to too many trolls are getting under his skin? Like that is to me, that's how it comes across. Right or wrong, like it's a human response. I've been guilty of it. You've been guilty. I don't know
Yeah.
anyone who hasn't been guilty of it at some point, but
Not me, buddy. I'm just
that's
perfect
right.
equanimity. I just so much confidence in myself that nobody can shake me unless somebody in the chat right here says something mean to me, then it's gonna haunt me and just be a wrench in my gears for the rest of the show.
Just gonna share the screenshot over and over again in group chats so people tell you it's
Oh,
wrong, right? Give me
yeah.
F.
Well, here's what's weird though. On substance, if it's an argument about whether Nick Wright can be an investigative journalist, a topic I've never thought about, I've never considered, never pondered until this week, and it became a specific topic. I don't think he would be. I don't think he'd be a good investigative journalist, and that's not an insult to him. And it's not me disproving that he once broke a big story, and he did a great job in on that story in 2014, which they were just arguing about on a granular level. And Pablo was trying to cast aspersions on his reporting. It's not about that. I think it's more if I'm trying to argue the Pablo side of it. It's one thing to break a story and to break one story. It's another thing to just live off that. It's another thing for that to be your lifestyle. I don't think a lot of people are built for that because I actually think that it forces you to make personal and professional compromises that are just very difficult to go through. I'm not Mr. Investigative Journalist, but I've done investigative journalism and I've broken stories and it cost me personally. It filled me with regret. I have regret to this day of some of the things that I've put out there and how
Ooh,
it
what
made
what
some of the
specifically?
I
Tell
can't even
all.
get into it. There was an assistant coach who felt like he told me something in confidence, and I put that thing out there as a blind quote, non-attributed, but I felt like I really broke his trust by putting that out there. And it was important to the story, but I spent years repairing that relationship. Not that I even needed it professionally, but just because I really admired him and as a friend felt like I had massively fucked up in doing that. And it took me years, and I don't think it was ever the same. And there are just things like that that come up. There are just things like that when you're trying to push out a characterization of something that people don't want out there. And it's interesting because people don't want that out there. So it's no aspersion on Nick. It's no slighting of his skills. I think that he is extremely talented. But if I was Pablo, I wouldn't have said to Nick, "You've never reported a story in your life." Or when Nick gave an example, I wouldn't have said, "Oh, well, this example has this or that flaw." I would just analogize it maybe a little bit to, hey, man, we can all hit a good golf shot. We can all have one good day at the
Right.
office doing this. It's a whole other thing to be doing it all the time. I don't think a lot of people this day and age, especially in the social media age, are built for that kind of thing.
Yeah.